How many jobs are we creating? Are we even creating enough formal jobs? Well, if data is to believe, then India's formal job creation, number of people who were enrolled into EPFO is at a 6-month low in the month of September, has cooled down consecutively for the month of August as well as September.
That's right, Shweta. So I think the data that you're talking about are new enrollments in the EPFO books. So new enrollments have tapered down consistently from the month of July. July, we saw the figure breach the 1 million mark. We had over 10 lakh new enrollments registered in the EPFO records. And then in the month of August, we saw that number taper down to a little over 9 lakh. And now it has come down to about 8,50,000 or so. So 8,50,000 new enrollments in EPFO records. This is, of course, formal job creation. These are permanent employees at organizations, and some numbers are good, but then we'll come to the sort of scary part of it also. The good part of the story is that almost 68% of the new enrollments are actually the youth between the age of 18 to 28. This is as per the CMIE report, or the Center for Monitoring the Economy, a private organization. So this is so 18 to 28 years is the bulk of the new enrollments, fresh enrollments. However, I think the good part also is that that overall unemployment has come down to about 7%. If you remember, during the peak of the pandemic, I'm talking about 2021 or so, we had seen more than double digit. We'd seen almost 12% or so unemployment rates in the year 2021. So that has also significantly come down over time. But I think the moot question really is that at a time when India wants to grow at least at 7.6%, slated to go at 6.5%, then you need to be in a scenario where the jobs coming by way of this demand for growth and the labor intensive jobs need to grow at the same clip as the capital investments being made by the government or by the private sector. So I think those dark sort of theories of too much dependence on machine, too many machines being or earth moving equipment being employed to create highways as opposed to labor being employed to create highways, those old Keynesian sort of economic models come into question again, that while there is capital investment being made, while India is continuing to grow and hoping to grow at 6.5% definitely in 2024 as per estimates, and perhaps even in 2025, then the addition of new workforce is not happening at that 6.5%. If anything, it is tapering off month on month,
at least in
July
the formal
onwards,
market.
at least in the formal market. So I think this whole debate about the nation needing to grow at a faster clip to attain its respective targets of 5 trillion, 7 trillion, 30 trillion by 2047, all the way through 2025. I think all of this will need to come on the back of formal job creation, and this is where at some level it is even the macro global environment which is playing spoiled sports. So IT, which should have inducted a couple of lakh more new joinees this year, has in fact been shedding people. The entire startup ecosystem that we've seen due to this ongoing funding winter has not been able to receive the kind of investments that it had become accustomed to and used to, and hence it is now unable to sustain itself and letting go of people. So at one level, there are fewer people joining the workforce, at least if you look at a 3-month trend line between July to September. And at another level, while the unemployment number is low and low as compared to China, China is looking at 20% unemployment rate. But ideally, it should be growing, and it should be growing almost at the same clip as the rate of growth of the economy.
All right, which is what's not happening at the moment. But also very important to point out, since you talked about capital expenditure, and most of this capital expenditure towards building infrastructure, which employs a whole host of people from not necessarily formal arena, but more informal labor. That number we don't have just yet.
We don't have that number. So that, I think, should be part of the government's MNR EGA scheme, and this again is informal employment. So these are daily wage workers. I think the data that we have is about formal employment on the payrolls of organizations.
All right. So the data therefore coming in from EPFO suggesting that labor markets not looking very good at this point in time.